All right, folks, the midterms are now 6 days away, and Newsmax Television, with all our shows, giving you the most comprehensive midterm previews around. And joining us now is Newsmax TV correspondent John Bachman with another midterm update. John, what do you got?
Well, Steve, I know you're excited, maybe just excited for the campaign season to be over. We're going to take a look at some governor's races around the country right now, and let's start in my home state of Georgia. Currently, incumbent Republican Nathan Deal has a 2-point lead over Jason Carter, the grandson of Jimmy Carter. And he's calling on the former First Lady Rosalynn Carter to help him out on the campaign trail. And while taking your grandmother to the iconic Varsity restaurant in Atlanta will score you a lot of points with voters in Georgia, this probably will not. An astute campaign watcher tweeting out a picture today, Carter's campaign bus has Florida license plates on it. And with the Georgia Bulldogs playing the Florida Gators this weekend in the world's largest outdoor cocktail party down in Jacksonville, no true Georgian wants to be affiliated with the state of Florida right now. Not good for Mr. Carter. And speaking of Florida, and by the way, go Dogs, former Florida Governor Charlie Crist has a tiny lead right now over incumbent Rick Scott. Take a look here. Rick Scott has 43.7% of the vote. Charlie Crist has 44.2%. Neither one of these candidates are very popular right now with voters, so we'll see who wins. But we are going to learn a little bit more about some other people who might be a little bit more popular in the Sunshine State. That's Bill Clinton, who is campaigning on behalf of Charlie Crist, and Jeb Bush, you see right there, who is campaigning on behalf of Rick Scott. Both men, the former president and the former governor, on TVs across the state of Florida now in all 8 TV markets. So we'll see if that moves any voters to convince them to maybe warm up to one of these two candidates. Next up is Massachusetts. And Martha Coakley there, who lost to Scott Brown in that special election to replace Teddy Kennedy, is behind right now to Charlie Baker. Also, we're hearing today that the Boston Globe is endorsing Charlie Baker, and that's the first time the paper has endorsed a Republican candidate for governor in 2 decades. So we'll see what happens here. Martha Coakley, again, has that nickname, Martha Chokley. She might be in trouble of choking this one again. Now, we'll move from the Bay State to the next state coming up here, and that is the state that hosts the Green Bay Packers, Wisconsin. Scott Walker has a little lead right now on Mary Burke, and these again are aggregate poll numbers coming from Real Clear Politics, which averages out all the polls in those particular states. Scott Walker fighting for his political life. Also in Wisconsin yesterday, we saw a campaign appearance, a rare one, none for the Senate candidates, only for the gubernatorial candidates. President Obama there last night stumping on behalf of Mary Burke. That polling data coming before the president's appearance, but we don't know if he will help or hurt, because as we saw last night again, the president got heckled and people walked out on the president again. The next campaign stop for the president will be in Connecticut, and that's where we're going for our next look at the polls here. And we could see that normally blue state going red as well. Tom Foley up by the slimmest of margins in Connecticut right now, although some folks are calling this a dead heat. Still, Tom Foley could be gaining a little bit of an edge there on the incumbent, Dan Malloy. Steve, what do you think?
Yeah, well, living in New York, you hear a lot about the race up in Connecticut, and I think wisdom says that it will turn red. I think there's a lot of dissatisfaction in the state of Connecticut with the way things have gone. And again, I mean, it'll be interesting though to see. He is one of the few, as you mentioned, they're all governors who have actually requested that Barack Obama come and campaign. But what's interesting is, Scott Walker is not too happy, according to reports, with Chris Christie, the head of the Republican Governors Association, who basically gave nothing to the New York gubernatorial candidate on the Republican side, Rob Astorino, said it's a lost cause. And according to Walker, the establishment Republican Party hasn't been giving him much help either.
Yeah, and they try to kind of tamp all that down, but that's certainly a storyline. And back to Connecticut, a couple of things that are impacting voters there, the high taxes. Voters in Connecticut have seen their taxes go up a lot, and also that gun issue there. After the whole Sandy Hook thing, they came out really strong for a lot of new gun laws. But those have had a negative impact, and a lot of folks are revolting against those new gun laws, and that could help out the Republican candidate in Connecticut as well.
Absolutely. Great job as usual, John. We'll speak to you soon. Thank you, John Bachman, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir, Steve. We'll see you next
joining
Tuesday,
us with,
too, all night.
Yeah, absolutely. All night with our Newsmax TV election coverage. It's going to be extensive and in-depth, and we'll tell you more about it as we get nearer to the event. Give Me 5 is next, folks. Don't go away.
I'd rather